want a sustainable community, don't we? Yes, we do. And sustainability is such a wider term, starting from environment, climate, water, economy, and most importantly, it's the interfaith ties, it's the intercultural bonds. And that's what this little project, Indo-Pasifika project, is trying to do, making a little leap towards a step of intercultural bonds and ties and strengthening it. I'm really grateful to Naad Charitable Trust. They have taken the step and conceptualized it. And great thanks to Otara Papatoetoe Local Board. They're supporting it. Auckland Council Libraries, well done and welcome all of you. Leota Alice Meredith from Auckland Council Libraries and Manjeet ji from Naad Charitable Trust. So let's start this conversation. I'm so excited to see you, Leota Alice, in this beautiful red costume, wearing this, the flower here. Could you please start, what Pasifika culture does it represent and what is it all about and who you are?
So thank you, Nimi. What I'm actually wearing is what we call in Samoa puletasi. In Tongan we call it puletaha. Fijians wear it. A lot of the different Pacific nations wear a similar form. Basically it's a skirt and a top. It's adapted from colonial times.
What do you know about the henna thing?
I think henna is very significant in terms of when the celebration comes in the Indian perspective, like Indian families. Either it is a wedding or sometimes birth of a child. And
henna is actually a shagun. It's a good omen.
Omen, yeah.
Yeah. So how about tattoos? How do you go about it?
Well, for Pacific tattoos, there is, of course, our master tattooist. So not everyone can simply be a tattooist. The practice of tatau, I've been fortunate to have my traditional tatau, or my beautiful malu. It means shelter, protection, sacredness, and it's specific to us women, and so it is actually placed on the legs, and the patterns that it's made of is the bird, the stars, and things of nature.
Indo-Pasifika project is to bring communities together through art, music and culture. Little step towards that, and I would like to say, आइए बहार को हम बांट लें, जिंदगी के प्यार को हम बांट लें.
Absolutely, sharing. Yeah.
Sharing. So
sharing.
Talking about the musical instruments.
Yeah.
How about the drums, the dhol, the tabla, the mats? And Pasifika culture has roll mats.
Yeah. And
it produces sound like a dhol produces sound.
Yeah.
We're inventive, we are resourceful. Roll up that sleeping mat and what do you know, we got a drum.
Yes.
And yeah.
Beautiful.
So I've been asked about Pacific music, instruments.
Yes, musical
and the type of Pacific instruments that come immediately to mind is the wooden drums that we have, and the Cook Islanders is probably one of the Pacific cultures that you can visually see it being played and danced, and each of them make depending on the halo and also sometimes the wood that drum is made of, that's what produces the different tone or the different beat, the sound of what's being played. Has a subtle sound that can be played in the background to accompany a choir. The Western world would say choir, but we would say, a group of people singing. And most times that kind of singing is to do with a composed song based on the theme of a day.
Beautiful.
So this is currently still seen today as part of Polyfest.
Yeah.
So in for example, on most of the stages in the Pacific cultures, they have a theme, and each of the stages, and they have a theme, and they are to compose a song of the day, and or a message that they need to or would like to to project or to share with the audience.
Yeah.
And the drums we have in our Indian culture.
A variety of instruments from various various states regions and states. But since we are talking about India, so we have to find a common music, so which is classical music. And in classical music, again, we have two different categories, which are South Indian classical music and North Indian classical music. Since I have expertise in North Indian, so we are focusing on North Indian classical music today. But I do want to acknowledge the South Indian music as well.
Yes.
So in North Indian classical music, the percussion instrument, the leading percussion instrument we have is called tabla, which has two hand drums, which are being formed during the time of colonization by Persians in India. North Indian classical music is a mix of Indian, native Indian, and the Persian culture. So which has tabla and sitar and singing of khayal singing, which is Indian classical, North Indian classical singing. And we have a dance style called Kathak, which is also from North Indian. Now same sort of tradition we have in South India, where the percussion instrument is called mridangam or ghatam, and the dance is Bharatanatyam or Kuchipudi, and we have a singing style which is different than North. But the commonality is the talams, the circles, the cycles of rhythm, and the ragas, which are the singing scales. There are common ragas and there are different ragas as well in the both styles. So they're very, very different and very significant and very fully formed and structured in a way, and beautiful representation of India.
So we have nose flutes. That's one of our traditional instruments. Yes, and Māori have it. Tongans also still use the nose flutes as well, and the other one is the conch shell. And now the conch shell has multiple purposes. It's the call of the gathering. And finally, I also wanted to mention Tongan music. Now, a lot of people, the Western music, they have notes.
Yes.
Written music.
That's right.
So written music, you have those different notes. Tongan music use numbers.
Beauty of the thing is, whether I'm wearing a bindi and you're wearing a flower, we still are wearing it to beautify ourselves.
That's right. So your bindi is my flower.
And my
Yes.
turban.
And your turban, yeah. And so the beauty of the thing is that we all are similar.
Similar.
No doubt we have dissimilarities.
You know, then,
but
and
we
those,
are.
and so
Yeah.
some of those differences, I think this project, we're wanting to encourage people to
learn.
feel it's okay
Yeah.
to ask about things that they might feel shy
about
asking. Like, for example, I want to ask Manjeet in terms of the music playing of the, the instruments that you play. Can women play it?
Yes, of course. And women can play. Women have specifically when we talk about dance, Kathak dance. It's always thought that women can only dance, but men
can
also do Kathak.
Yes.
It's beautiful.
We learn about ourselves
Yeah.
too,
And look
right?
at Bhangra.
Bhangra.
The girls have started doing Bhangra.
Bhangra,
It used
it's
to
a
be
regional
male.
Punjab culture,
Yeah.
folk dance, and
Girl power.
yeah,
Yes.
Okay,
girl power. Yeah. Beautiful.
We got to love each
Yeah.
other. It's all about Aroha.
Yeah.
It's all about Alofa. It's all about Ofa. It's all about Prem Bhav.
Yeah.
It's all about Pyar.
Absolutely.
It's all about respect. It's all
Yeah.
about Izzat Man.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, one of the biggest things that I love about our people, both Indian and Pasifika people, faith. We're people of faith.
yes.
It doesn't matter what religion we practice. We, if we are people of faith, we have compassion.
Compassion. Yeah.
We believe in respect. We believe in those things that you had mentioned.
This is a part of our motto, which is Manas ki jaat sab hai ek hai pehchan wo. At Naad Charitable Trust, we believe that no matter, regardless of our culture, our color, our religion, our caste, but we are all humans. Thank you very much.
Thank you and Kaki Te.
Mana enhancing, soifua ia manuia.
Dhanyavad.